Yes.
So I wanted to say, as I'm saying now, what I understood from the words of the holy words of Rab Tzadok HaKohen and the Pri Tzadik, and the holy Ishbitzer Rebbe and the Sefer Beis Yaakov, and I'm putting together the way I understood them. First of all, there's an Indian Torah needs hachona. That's one thing. You need preparation. You can't just jump into Torah like like you jump into a Sefer Chol.
A bull in a china shop, they say.
Yeah. You have to, and this is, everybody agrees, whether we're learning Lishma or we're learning Shalom Lishma, but everybody, you have to have, as Reb Chaim Volozhiner says, a mashu of Yesh Shemayim, a kav chumtin, the Gemara calls it, a little bit of some kind of chomer that keeps the tuah from rotting. You need that little bit to keep the Torah should have a key. And that comes through achona. That means that b'shas you sit down to learn, you're supposed to think for 5 seconds or something, I mean at least for 5 seconds, we're learning Torah Hashem. This is Maimed Har Sinai learning Torah. Baron Kotler says, why is it that the Torah, could be others say it also, I think I might have mentioned it once over here, why is it that the Torah made Zichronos to remember Yetzias Mitzrayim, we're holding close to Pesach. The Torah made something to remember Sukkot, but to remember Maimed Har Sinai, the Torah didn't do anything we should remember. Because Maimed Har Sinai is still going on every day. We have a Maimed. You open up a Gemara and you sit in front of a Gemara, it's Maimed Har Sinai. It's still the colors. Kol Gadol V'lo Yosef. It never stopped. The kol is still going on. You need a little bit of achona for that. And that's what the Vayikra Moshe, it's like Hashem is saying to Moshe Rabbeinu, you ready? And Moshe Rabbeinu answers, Hineni, I'm ready. But it's much more than that. The Torah, the Torah, the omek of Torah, the depth of Torah is ad ein sof. Every sugya that you learn, there's no end to how much you could go into it, how much you could say in it, how deep you could go into it. Like you see, you take one piece of Gemara, you'll see there, and take a few svarim, you'll see that everybody says something different, and it's on the same piece of Gemara. Says the Ishbitzer, how can you really reach the omek of Torah when you know that it's love? And this is a chiddush. This is a big chiddush. It says like this: when you have love, when you have a connection, a close connection, so all the problems that can arise, ledugma, in a relationship between a man and a woman, which is the classical relationship, not everybody is zocher, but those that are zocher, they say there's such a thing as shalom bayis someplace. There is such a thing. So those that are, there aren't problems, there aren't obstacles, there aren't disagreements. There can't be. There has to be. Men and women are different. But when there's love,
morale, the famous morale. It's a miracle a man and woman can
miracle
together.
that can come together. But after the miracle,
I know this Biki is from Rav Simcha Cohen. I don't know exactly where the morale is, but he quotes it often.
But the love that there is, that makes it that things work out.
I think what you're saying is a chazal. When there was love, they could live on a needle, a knife. There's no love. A castle isn't enough.
No. The Gemara in Sanhedrin, the beginning of Sanhedrin. Yeah. So that's a pshat.
Which daf? Which parent?
Vober, Zayin in the beginning. So I'm saying the pshat is like this. I like to use the modern Israeli word zrima, flowing. When it flows, you can see it. Everybody can see it. I mean, anybody who's not.
We use the chalash of chazal, shagura b'piv.
Tfilas shagura b'piv. Yeah, you could say that. Tfilas shagura.
Thank you.
Rafiv means that his tefillah is
Zarim.
That means he feels, so the way we're talking now, it means he feels connected. He feels connected to Hashem, so it's flowing. But if there's blockages between him and Hashem, so it doesn't flow. It's like muscle that you plug in. You plug in a plug. You can have the machine, you can have the tape recorder, whatever it is. You can have everything. The machine is there and everything is right. And you turn around and you see it doesn't work. It happens sometimes. Why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work? And you start looking and thinking, but it's not plugged in, so how's it going to work? A simple thing is missing. It's not plugged in, so it's not zarem. It doesn't flow.
Zerem chashmali.
Yeah, zerem chashmali. Actually, the word itself is not a modern Hebrew word. It's zerem mam kabirim shefim yinech laretz b'yod. The pasuk in the Haftarah of Parashat Shmos. Okay, but I'm saying, you can always see sometimes you sit together, you invite guests for Shabbos sometimes, and you sit at the head of the table, and you start thinking, making conversation, making it. Yeah, so what's the weather like? So where do you come from? What's the weather like over there? And then you keep getting it's quiet. Then, good, it's a mitzvah. You gave them chicken to eat. You gave them bread to eat. But it's very awkward.
By the way, the boy, one of the two boys from Sri Eliezer that were a few weeks ago, they stopped me on the subway, on the train this week. We had a Zorem talk.
It was Zorem. It must have been...
Not the Aquarius, the SAG.
The SAG, the one that was saying, yeah. He's a nice boy, very nice boy. So, and sometimes, like in that time, we had these boys, two boys came here, two Bachrim were here, and it was Mamish Zorem from the first minute. It was Zorem, it was so Zorem, like it was Mamish, like a whirlpool, like you have a bathtub that the water runs, I think, what's it called, whirlpool?
Whirlpool, jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi, yeah. Once in my life I was in one of them in Palo Alto, California, when I was in Gulf for a month. You go in there and the water's running. It was mamish more than Zorem. Anyway, when there's a zrima, so then you can overcome all the obstacles. Now, when it comes to Torah is when you have love between you and Hashem, so then you can go deeper and deeper into it. That means the omek is there. It should have been possible just to look at it and see and that was by Luchas Rishonis. It was like that. They say, forgot who said it. It says that by the Luchas Rishonis you could just look at the Luchas and see the Torah in it and see everything. I think it could be Beis HaLevi, maybe brings it. It could be the Yerushalmi and Shkolim. That everything, the Yerushalmi says between one dibur and another were like waves. And I know it fits in with what we're saying. It was Zorem. The Torah was Zorem. But now that we have Shviras HaLuchos, so we have blockages. Shviras HaLuchos made that our goof is not so pure. And because our goof is not so pure, so we can't understand the depth and the deep depth of Torah. But when there's love, so that breaks, you're connected, you're with Hashem. So then you look into the Torah, you just find the omek of Torah. That's Vayikra al-Moshe, Vayikriya Lashon Chibur. When you want to really understand, man, Moshe Rabbeinu, he understood the whole amkis of the Torah, everything. Afilu mashatam mitvosik asid lachadish. That's all based on the Lashon Chibur. I want to add something. What's the meaning of the Hineni that we started in the beginning? Saying like this, Moshe Rabbeinu could have said what? Could have said, Ma, what are you saying, Hashem? But if he would have said, what are you saying, that means, you're calling me, oh, it must be you have something to say. Let me know, what do you have to say? But what Hineni means, it doesn't mean that. I don't know if you're calling me because you have... I don't know if you're calling me because you have something to say to me, or for a different reason. I'm with you! Hineni means I'm with you. Ma means what are you saying? But Hineni means I'm ready to be with you. You're calling me. Mashcheni acharecha narutzu. Havyane hamelech hadorav. And what's it Medrash say? Havyane hamelech hadorav. That's Matan Torah. That's Har Sinai. You're calling me. Here, I'm prepared to be with you. I don't have anything else. I'm not busy. You can see sometimes people, you tell them. In fact, last night, I said a word on Parshas Vayikra. I said something. It was mamish nifla. I was at a chas. I told my brother-in-law, Meir Shtub, I told him the word. And he was impressed. He was very impressed from it. I said, man, his old Rosh Yeshiva from the Tivot, from the Yeshiva Azata, where he learned by him, he was there at the Chazar Bar Levi. He was there. It looks like a very idle person, very nice man. But so he told him the word. He went by and he talked to us. So he said, this is my brother-in-law. He said this and this. At the beginning, I didn't see him, and then I heard him. He was talking to. So as soon as he finished, it had to do with the differences between Parshas, the Mishkan of Vayikra and the Mishkan in Truma.
Now we talked about that.
If you want, I could say it over here. So we talked about.
I think the tzivui of the giving of the. Well, good thing I'm here.
So I talked about it. And then as soon as I finished, he said, yeah, but you'll look in Rabbi Yeshua Heller, the Chassan Yeshua. He has a kuntus called Oel Yeshua, and he talks about all the differences. Okay, very good, but show appreciation to the Vart. Show that you're impressed from the Vart, or show that you're not impressed from the Vart. But then, I mean, it's we all suffer from. We all suffer. We all suffer from this. The pshat is like this. Moshe Rabbeinu, when Hashem called him, he said, "Hineni, I'm not interested in anything. I'm not interested in Madre. Even in Madregas, I'm not interested. I'm interested in being with you." And that's the emes ha'ava. That's the emes ha'kirvas Hashem. Mili b'shamayim, Osaf says in Tehillim Ayin Gimel. Mili b'shamayim v'imcha lo chafatzti ba'aretz. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Kol she'eri levovi, my heart and my meat is all kolo. It's, how do you say it?
Consumed
with my love to you. That's what Moshe. That's the hineni that Moshe Rabbeinu answered, and from there, that's where Torah can come. That's the Zichru Torah's Moshe. That's the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu. The hineni, dafka through the hineni, through the and it says in Parashas Kishis that we had 2 weeks ago, it says, "V'dibra Hashem al Moshe panim el panim, kasher yedaber isha reyehu." It wasn't that Hashem gave command that I know a certain person that you go to him. He teaches you emunah. He teaches you. Now listen, you people don't know, so listen. I'm going to teach you. He gives you that feeling. Well, Hashem with Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't like that. Hashem didn't say that to Moshe Rabbeinu. He said, "V'dibrash panim el panim kasher yedaber ish Yisrael." And the Chazal said, the Gemara in the end of Brachos, "Ani ve'ato nasbir panim ba'alocha." Let's explain the halacha together one to another. Let's discuss the halacha together. Such a kirvas, from such a kirvas Hashem, from that comes out Torah. Everybody, we all can have a connection to that. And just to remember this idea before you start learning. This is Kirvas Hashem. And I feel, you take a piece of Gemara, 10 lines of Gemara, let's say, and you think these machshavas, so you'll be mechadish chidushim also. You know what this is? You know how important this is. Like we always say, the nakuda that we always like to bring out. There's nothing is small, everything is important, everything here is important. This is the Dvar Hashem, this is the Kirvas Hashem, this is Matan Torah, this is the Beis Hayayin of our Sinai, the HaMelech HaDorov, the Panim al Panim. Just remember these ideas. Not only that you'll learn Gishmak and you'll learn with Cheshik, it could even be you'll be Mechadish Chidush.
Yeah, I think you're saying a Torah in the Kuti Maran where he talks about that everything is open in front of a person, but just don't test Hashem for it. It's there. You're saying very similar to the Torah. Damian and Arya, the shape of the letters. I forget which Torah exactly. We have a few seconds left. You want to
and the same thing is with Kiyum HaMitzvahs. You can't be a modern Orthodox and say, yeah, there's Olam Hazeh and there's Hashem.